Okay, welcome to Not the Evening News on the 7th of February 2026. I am your host, Dick Payne. Don't you love that name, Dick Payne? Yes. We've got new music. You may have noticed if you've seen previous episodes. This is because of copyright. I got sick of. I wasn't getting copyright strikes. I was just getting copyright notifications, even though the music that I was using was supposed to be copyright free and it was on YouTube. But I kept getting copyright notifications for it. So I've gone with the actual audio library from YouTube itself. To be honest, I think it's a massive step down. The other music was considerably better than what the YouTube audio library is that they know is copyright free. But you got to stick to the rules, I guess. So yeah, let's jump straight into this, shall we? Let's get some news. So we have 3 men stabbed at Surrey train station as police appeal for information. This was a fight that broke out on Friday night at Surrey railway station. And this was 9 p.m. This Friday just gone, which would be February 6th. And the reports of a number of people with stab injuries. Paramedics rushed to the station and found 4 people injured. And they have somebody in custody. No description given. We all know what that means, seriously. So take from that whatever you will. I take that to mean it's an immigrant, it's an invader that's done the stabbing. But they just don't want to say that. They never say that when it's an invader. I could find it quite disgusting, actually, but that's just my opinion. We have Grifty on X, who has said, vindication of Dundee's brave girls. This was the girls that they were wielding an axe and a knife, and they had some illegals coming at them. And they basically had to fend them off themselves. I'm sure you will remember that. That was groundbreaking. It was just horrifying to see how these girls had to defend themselves because the government and the people of Britain aren't defending them. So anyway, remember when Elon Musk retweeted the post backing Scottish teens who armed themselves against harassers and were condemned for spreading misinformation? Remember that? Remember when everyone was like, oh no, that's not what happened, this isn't right, no, there's a different story there. Well, now a man and a woman have appeared in court accused of sexually harassing and assaulting the group of girls aged between 12 and 14 in Lochee in last August. We have Lilia Belov, 22, and Nedjeda Belova, 20, are charged with seizing, pushing, and punching the girls. Case continued as the truth finally emerges. We were right to stand with those courageous kids. Yes, absolutely. It never should have gotten to that point anyway. Were there no other adults around that those girls could have turned to and said, these guys are harassing me, can you do something? No, they had to take it into their own hands. I expect it's not the first time it's happened, and I expect it's not going to be the last time it happens either. Absolutely disgusting. This is what Britain is now. Get used to it, and if you speak out about it, be prepared to go to prison. That's the way it works in England now, isn't it? Wonderful country. We have Queen Bee, spelt B-E-E. So she has posted, listen to what they did to the country's children. They arrested them at their own gang rape for being drunk. They were children. Absolutely disgusting. Let's actually go into this. I'll see if I can get the sound for you regarding what they're saying, because there is a video for it. So I'll see if I can get the sound for you.
She in 2008, an 11-year-old girl came to the attention of the police after she disclosed that she and another child had been sexually abused by a group of adult males.
Muslim.
A few weeks later, she was found in a derelict house with another child and a number of adult males. Yet she was arrested, 11 years of age, she was arrested for being drunk and disorderly.
So let's just get this straight so far. A girl that's already gone to the police saying that she's being sexually harassed, sexually assaulted. She's, what, 12, I think he said, 11 or 12. And then she's found again in another house with grown males, grown men that have obviously been abusing her. And the police, instead of arresting those men that have obviously been abusing these girls, they arrest the girls that have been applied with alcohol. Absolutely, that is the police. Make no mistake about it, that is the police. Let's carry on with this.
And none of the males were arrested. Has your force identified the police officers involved in that and found out what went on?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know.
That was very controlled. That was a very controlled answer, because he knew that it's all coming back to bite him in the arse now, or it potentially can come back to bite him in the arse now. I guarantee you, at the time, he said, arrest the girls, don't upset the Muslims, just deal with the girls, arrest them. I guarantee you that's what they said. Now it's coming back to bite him in the arse because people are asking questions. Now it's, I don't know. He couldn't even come up with an answer. He couldn't even come up with an alternate scenario that he'd make up that would make it okay. Couldn't even do that. Just said, I don't know. I guarantee you he knows. Disgusting.
This officer dismissed the case of a 12-year-old girl who'd been having sex with up to 5 Asian males because he said she had been, quote, 100% consensual in every incident. 12 years of age? I think that's unbelievable, to be honest.
So at the age of 12, you cannot consent to sex. You cannot. If you go to a nightclub, right? So look at this scenario. If you went to a nightclub where everyone's supposed to be 18, everyone is supposed to have been why are you yapping? Oh, fuck off. Everyone is supposed to have been ID'd on the way into that establishment. So you assume that everyone in there is 18. Let's say you take a girl home, realise shit, she's 15. Should you be prosecuted? That's the question you need to ask yourself. And that's a best case. That's the only kind of scenario I can think of where you might think, yeah, I think the establishment that you were in should really be responsible there, or hold some kind of responsibility, because it was their job to ID that girl before she went into their establishment. So they should bear a brunt of the responsibility there. But that's not what happened here. And the police know that's not what happened there. What's happened there, and they know it, is these 12-year-old girls have been raped. They've been drugged. They've been plied with alcohol, and they've just had their way with them. And the police have let them do it. In fact, the police have arrested the girls for being drunk and disorderly. How fucking disgusting is that? Absolute disgrace the police are. Disgusting people.
Who that officer was and found out what happened there?
Can I just make one thing clear? That I've said today that we must have an independent investigation team to come back at this. I have also personally spoken to the Director of Investigations
if a report,
at the IPCC.
Sorry, Mr. Austin, could the Chief Constable just finish? Please finish.
I've also personally spoken to the Director of Investigations at the IPCC, and in order to involve them in this as well.
Fathers had tracked down their daughters and tried to remove them from houses where they were being abused. only to find themselves arrested when police were called to the scene. Do you know what happened in that case?
Yeah, we all know what happened in that case because it's exactly as it sounds. We've all been told this case so many times before. I've known about this case for years, and what happened was a girl was became dependent upon drugs, and she kept sneaking out to these Muslim men's house that they were raping girls at, and the father, one night, the girl got out, followed her to the house, and then when he went in to go and confront these men, they kicked off. So he went outside, called the police, and the police went there. Instead of saving his daughter, instead of arresting the Asian men that were clearly there to rape, they arrested the father. Does that not tell you everything you need to know about the police? Absolutely disgusting. And he's still, to this day, trying to justify it. He's saying he doesn't know who the officer was that did that. I guarantee you he does. But he knows if he throws that officer under the bus, that officer's just going to turn around and say, well, let's look at the paperwork. Who signed off on what I should do in that situation? Because that officer will just say, you told me to do it. And then it falls back on him again. So he doesn't want that guy stepping forward. He doesn't want them finding out who that officer was that did that, because it's going to fall directly back into his lap. Absolutely disgusting.
Chair, I don't seek to defend any of this, and that I've asked for I'm in the process of setting up an independent investigation because the number of staff at Rotherham over such a period of time means that it can't have credibility unless we have some independence to the investigative process.
One of your officers decided that a 12-year-old girl was having sex with up to 5 adults and was 100% consenting in every incident. Should somebody like that be working for the police? So, I mean, somebody's capable of making a decision like that.
No, it's a dreadful decision. And I've set my position out to find out about it.
Absolutely disgusting. He has no intention of doing any investigation into that, independent or otherwise, because he knows he's going to be the one that comes under fire, potentially losing his job, as he absolutely should. Definitely. They all should. They all absolutely should. And in fact, I would say anyone that was a police officer between now and the year 1990, fire them all, get rid of all of them. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Disgusting country this has become. Okay, let's carry on. We've got Pakistanis in Greece are pushing to normalise cousin marriage, inbreeding, absolutely backwards, deport them. That is from Tommy Robinson, and I 100% agree. That is absolutely disgusting. Well, see, this is another thing that I didn't realise until Labour come along, and I'm sure they just changed it. It's not the Mandela effect. I'm certain it used to be illegal in the UK to marry your cousin. I'm certain of it. And yet, when Keir Starmer came into power, suddenly it's not. Suddenly it's always been legal. It's always been fine. Inbreeding, cousin marriages, oh, we love them. It's disgusting. But, you know, it's another one of those things where I just don't trust anything they say anymore. If he says it's always been legal, I can almost certainly guarantee that it has not been always been legal, and he came in, quickly changed it under the radar, and then just said, yeah, it's always been legal. Absolutely disgusting. So we have Hearts of Gold has posted, Rupert Lowe has started the only inquiry into the Muslim rape gangs known as grooming gangs in the UK. Successive governments have refused to address this great evil for over 5 decades. For the first time, rape and inquiry has provided a place for survivors to speak. In 5 decades. Absolutely disgusting, isn't it? I can't get over that. Just in 5 decades, your governments, in 5 decades, your governments have allowed this to happen. They've allowed Muslim men to take your children, to take your girlfriends, to take your wives when they were children, and rape them and have their way with them and do what they like with them. It's absolutely disgusting. Just disgusting. So we have Basil the Great, who has said that locals are reporting that illegal migrants being housed at a military barracks in Crowborough are already committing crimes. Who saw that coming? Who saw that coming, eh? Really? No shit. Fuck me. Really? So you moved, what was it? I think that was 500 military-aged men with no background checks. You moved them into Crowborough, and now Crowborough is having problems with crimes and different things. That is shocking. Just absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And yet they continue to do it. They continue to get away with it. If you ask me, put tools down. Everyone in Britain, for the sake of Britain, just tools down, not working until the government guarantees that not another penny will be spent on these illegal invaders. That is what needs to happen. Will it happen? Will it not? I do not know. Of course, this is nothing new. It's happened in Iran. Look it up. Okay. So I've already gone through that one. Let's go for that one. One moment. I do apologise for this. Unfortunately, it's pissing about a little bit. Sydney Jones has posted, "Welcome home, Andrew. People have been adding posters against Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former prince, after the photographs were released of him on Epstein's Island." So this is basically activists, and good activists, not that fucking pro-Palestine wankers or the Just Stop Oil or any of them cunts. No, these are good activists that are putting posters up around the area where they know Andrew is going to see them when he goes out for a walk or anything like that. Fantastic. You love to see it. And they're putting up posters of a picture of him that basically say sweaty nonce. Sweaty nonce in the area. It says public safety announcement, sweaty nonce in the area, with a picture of him. Absolutely beautiful. Well done, Sydney Jones. We love you. Okay, of course, we have this story about the grenade that was thrown into a salon yesterday. This was the Friday the 6th of February 2026. An illegal migrant in France, they filmed themselves throwing a grenade into a salon, into a shop. Reminder that these people will be on their way to the UK if they're not already here. And they're probably in Crowborough now. you know, it is literally a laugh or cry situation. You have to deal with this shit. Because if you don't, you will lose your mind. That could well be a contributing factor as to why I have depression, why I can't work anymore. It's so frustrating to sit here and have to and have to live in a country that you know is destroying itself. That you know every day that you wake up, another girl has been raped. In fact, in London, it's every hour a rape is reported. So it's just a disgusting country to live in now. It really is. We have Eric Doherty, or is that Eric Doughty? It could be Doherty or Doughty. Anyway, I think it's Doughty, actually. Breaking, testifying site as New York City Mayor Zoran Mandani calls on America to look to Islam and the Prophet Muhammad to support pro-mass migration stance. Islam is built on migration. Absolutely not. He can go fuck himself. I will never, ever, ever accept Islam in any shape or form. And I know it's there's a high chance that Britain will become a Islamic state in the future. It's very, very likely, but I will never accept it. Never, ever. I will fight everyone that tries to force me to bow down to a paedophile. Never going to happen. Young Bob has posted, as you would all expect, all we got was death threats by the Muslim community, police calls, and threatening to be arrested from the police officers. Because once again, where have we seen this before? Once again, they don't arrest the Muslims. You see the pattern here? They don't arrest the Muslims. They arrest anyone else that the Muslims dislike. And this is a case where young Bob is here in Whitechapel today to debate remigration and mass deportations in one of the most demographically replaced areas in London. Tower Hamlets Council is a joke. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Remember, Tower Hamlets several times has had the Muslims of the area come out onto the streets with tools, with knives, with machetes, to make their point clear. If you are not Muslim, you are not welcome there anymore. It's pretty much a ghetto. It's not as bad as some areas, and I'm sure if you're white, you could walk through it. But make no mistake, Tower Hamlets will one day, very, very, very soon, just be a no-go zone for white people, like parts of like part of Birmingham, like parts of High Wycombe, like parts of Aylesbury. I've seen this all before. So well done to young Bob. I hope he gets some luck soon, to be fair, because it just seems everywhere he goes, just people just shit on him. It's just absolutely disgusting to see. I do wish well for him. We have Labour are now in 4th place and keep falling. This is from Basil the Great regarding the voting intention. If a general election was called tomorrow, who would you vote for? And Reform are well out in the lead. Well out. Absolutely incredible. And yes, this will absolutely... Basil the Great has said this will be the last Labour government. I would argue further than that this would be the last Labour and the last Conservative government. No one will want to be branded under those brands, under that umbrella, when all of the truth comes out. I mean, Labour Party, even now, today, as I sit here, are the nonce party. They are known online as the nonce party. They are the nonce party. I know I mention it every time we talk about Labour being the nonce party, but look up the list of Labour Party members that are predators, that are paedophiles. It is a long list that grows more seemingly every other week. It's incredible. Not in a good way, obviously. Okay, Basil the Great again has posted, breaking, NHS complicit in covering up rape gangs. Well done, NHS. Again, I try to avoid the NHS as much as possible. I don't think I've used them for a couple of... maybe last year I went once or something to see a GP, but they're another one that I just don't trust anymore. I don't trust doctors anymore because I just think to myself, I wonder if you're complicit in some kind of rape gang shit. So Rupert Lowe MP has asked, did the NHS play a part and were you able to talk to them? Rape gang survivor. I went when I was 13 with chlamydia and then I got genital... Can you play a song High on You, please? No, I'm reading the news, Mush. I went when I was 13 years old with chlamydia, and then I got genital herpes, and then I had a miscarriage, and that was all between the ages of 13 to 15. So they knew something was going on. This is the NHS. They knew something was going on. I did go once, and I explained to the doctor, because I was like, can you give me some antidepressants or something? And the doctor said, well, I don't think that's a warrant enough to give you those when you're too young. So she's too young for antidepressants to deal with the fact that she's been repeatedly raped by rape gangs, but they're not going to call the police when she gets chlamydia, genital herpes, and then has a miscarriage between the ages of 13 and 15. So yes, I would consider that absolute complicity by the NHS with regards to the rape gangs. Absolutely. That is disgusting, and any doctor that has done that should absolutely just be removed from England. We need to deport a hell of a lot of people. Just disgusting. Please, it's a request. No, I'm not here to play music. I'm here to read the news. If that's not your thing, then no hardship. Then feel free to go away, to scroll up. Holly England has said, not only am I dealing with the online hatred, it has now come to my front door. 2 days ago, I was told that two men were asking for my address last night. That fear became very real when my door was damaged. Had it not been repaired earlier in the week, someone could have gained entry to my flat. Thankfully, due to the kindness and generosity of supporters, I had recently been able to install a Ring doorbell. I also want to thank Dave, whoever Dave is, thank you, who came on Wednesday to fix my door. Without that, the situation could have been far worse. So I assume this is a girl that's speaking out about the rape gangs and other things, and she's getting attacked for it. Because the lefties, the Mongs, they don't like they don't like people speaking up about it. They'd rather brush it under the carpet and carry on letting invaders into the country. And the only time they will ever speak up about it or even acknowledge there's a problem is when it happens to them. That's the way it works in the left. You know, it's not a problem at all for anyone until it's their problem. That's how it works. Isolated Incidents has posted, officers investigating 2 break-ins at Nottingham Hospital campus want to speak to this man. Looks Muslim. 10 laptops were stolen from offices and laboratories inside the University of Nottingham Medical School. The building located next to Queen's Medical Centre off Clifton Boulevard was targeted twice in a week. Twice in a week. So you can't even be a medical student in Britain now without getting robbed. Amazing. And yet, if he had an accident, they'll probably have to care for him the next day. Just absolutely disgusting. The first break-in happened around 5:30 a.m. on January 4th, before a second was reported on January 11th between 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Police believe the burglaries could be linked and are now... Could they? Fuck me. How'd you put that together? Yeah. Could they be linked? Could they? Police believe the burglaries could be linked, fucking genius, and are now able to release an image of someone they'd like to speak to as part of their inquiries. Cunts. They're not going to catch him. They're not going to catch him. Do you know how I know? Because he's Arabic. And when you're Arabic, you don't get caught. Keir Starmer's allies sound general election alarm as rebels plot number 10 coup. Right, so this, I just want to say, I don't believe Keir Starmer will ever call a general election. I don't think Keir Starmer will ever step down. I truly believe he will have to be dragged out of number 10, kicking and screaming. I genuinely believe that. He will not leave. And do you know why? Because he's cut so many deals with so many people, with so many different organisations, that if he were removed prematurely, he wouldn't have time to cover it all up. And so it would immediately come out what kind of scumbag he is. Immediately. That is why he absolutely will not resign or anything. And I think once you get somebody in there in power, maybe Reform, maybe another party, but once you certainly get someone in there in power that has never been in power before, and they can just say, look, this is everything your previous governments have done, and they're independent of that, that will be a fantastic day, because they'll just release everything. Or I would anyway. I hope they don't try covering any of it up, because that should be their first duty, just to get in there, look at everything over the last 100 years, if possible, and just say, look, this is what your governments have done. Isn't it absolutely disgusting? And believe me, even before that happens, Keir Starmer will never set foot out on the street without bodyguards again. Ever. And quite rightly so, in my opinion. Quite rightly so. He is an absolute traitor to England. He is a disgrace. Just loading. 1 second. The computer is a bit slow, bless it. Okay, Wanker Finder. Great name, by the way, and I like your whole the whole thing that you do. You basically find wankers. Love it. It's brilliant. If you don't follow Wanker Finder on X, please do. Hilarious, brilliant. White, and he says, by the way, Wanker Finder says, white leftist women will be the death bell for Britain. Bloody wankers. Yeah, and there's a video of a woman. I'll tell you what, let's listen to this one, actually. Because they all say the same shit. They all say the same bollocks. And I guarantee you, at some point in there, she'll say, solidarity! I guarantee it. They all do. They all do. And whenever you go to these marches, it's always a woman with a megaphone. Every time. It's always a woman with a megaphone screaming about how we're so diverse and perfect. So let's listen to her now. Let's see what shit this bitch has to say. Here we go.
And they're amazing. Across the constituency, there's been such groundwork. It's really important that everybody in this community stops Reform. We cannot have hatred in our communities across this constituency. We cannot have division. We have to stand up for ourselves as ordinary working people in this community and say, Godwin, get back to St Albans, get back to GB News, and take your racism and your nastiness with you. Solidarity!
I told you! Solidarity! I knew it! I fucking knew it! Solidarity! Oh, man. I fucking knew it. Solidarity. Do these lefties really not realise they're the terrorists? They're the ones that are causing all the division and etc. Do they honestly not realise that? Are they really that stupid? And I guarantee you she supports Green Party, who are essentially just an Islamic party now. And mark my words, Zach Polanski, a gay Jewish man, they hate him. They absolutely despise him. They hated Zara Sultana. No, what was her name? Is it Zara Sultana? Could be Zara Sultana. They hated her, and she said it became a boys' club. They did not want to know. Why do you think that is, Zara? It's because you're a woman, and Muslims don't like women with power, so you had to go straight away. You had to get the fuck out of there. And it'll be exact same thing for Zach Polanski. Soon as they get a little bit of power, soon as they get voted in different places, and they've got enough of them, fuck off, Zach Polanski. You are no longer welcome. Yeah. Again, I wish I could have a much larger platform than I do to tell people this, but I don't, because people don't want to hear it, for fuck's sake. But it is when you again, I'm digressing a lot, but when you see this kind of stuff coming years in advance and then it happens, I have to admit it is pretty funny to watch the fallout, to watch everyone scramble around like headless chickens trying to work out what to do. And you just think, How did you not see it coming? How? Fucking hell. Yeah, so, I mean, that's my stance on it. That's pretty much my stance on everything. I can't care anymore, because if I care, I'll just want to do something. Yeah, and yeah, I can't do anything. So I just have to force myself not to care. But with that, obviously, comes depression and other things. It's so sad. Fuck it though. Dave on X has posted, apparently the reason why some victims resigned from the official rape gang inquiry was because Jess Phillips shouted "liars" and "shame on you" when they were describing their assailants. If this is the case, then Jess Phillips should be dismissed as a safeguarding minister. Yeah, I know. Again, I've said this so many times. Jess Phillips as a safeguarding minister is like putting, I don't know, Rolf Harris as a child safety fucking minister, or as Jimmy Savile in hospitals with very, very vulnerable children. Oh yeah, we did that. Yeah. So fuck it. Do as you like. Again, this is a reason that I didn't have kids, because I knew if any of this shit happened to any of my kids, I would absolutely torch every fucking thing around those people's lives. I genuinely would. And so it's just best not to for me. I know there's a high probability that it will happen, so I'm not going to do it. Turning Point UK, I am in support of violent revolution, says Joey Manarino. Debates radical leftists who believes in violent revolution stop the deportation of illegals. So he's saying, yes, we're ready to go full violence, full riots in the streets, full engagement with weapons and stuff, I assume, to stop the deportation of illegals. Well, I genuinely believe it's high time the right got to that point as well and said, well, okay, if you want a violent revolution, then we will equal that energy and we'll meet you on the streets. When that day comes, that'll be a very good day. BBC licence fee set to rise in just months. Here's how much it will cost you. If anyone is still paying for this, you are a moron. They cannot catch you. There is no way they can track what digital signal is going into your house through an aerial. That's not a thing. I know they lied about it years ago, saying that they could trace whether your house was taking in signals from the BBC, and if you were caught watching the BBC, then you would get arrested and blah blah blah. It's utter nonsense. They cannot do it. You cannot detect a digital signal being taken in by an aerial, by a digital aerial. The only thing they can do is track an IP address. So if you're watching it on a laptop, then they could probably find out you've been watching BBC. But if you're watching it through an aerial, nothing they can do. But who cares anyway? Delete all the BBC apps, delete all the BBC fucking radio stations, just delete anything under the umbrella of BBC, because it is a nonce culture. It really is. It is a nonce and terrorist propaganda mouthpiece that how anyone is still paying for it is just absolutely... I'm blown away by it. It blows my mind. It genuinely does, because it's just full of nonsense. That's all it is. And everything on it is fake. Everything. All these reality TV shows and everything that you think are actually reality TV shows, they're not. They're all just propaganda crap. They're all scripted. They're all told what to say, what to do, where to go, and how to do it. It's all just shit. It's bollocks. So if you're still watching BBC, fucking hell, best of luck to you in life. The Department for Culture, Media and Sport has confirmed the BBC licence fee has increased in price. Households across Britain will have to pay £180 a year. Is that how much it is now? Fuck off. Who's fucking hell? I'm fucked if no. No, I'd rather have you come to my door every other couple of days and I'll just say fuck off. I'd rather have that than fucking 180 quid. I'd rather just have 180 quid in my hand and just wave it in front of the window while while these licensed goons are outside the window. I'd rather do that. Fucking wankers, they can fuck off. Probe launched into, this is GB News by the way, probe launched into police officers who threatened Rotherham rape gang victim. Again, it's just disgusting. It's never ending. It just keeps coming because they just need to get a grip on this and actually do an investigation. Otherwise, it's going to be dragged out and it's all anyone's going to talk about or think about, same as the immigrants, for years to come. And it's going to wind people up, and then you get a violent revolution that the left are now saying that they're prepared for. If the right say they're prepared to meet them at that violent revolution, then yeah, you've just got riots on your hand. You've got a literally failed society, a failed country whose citizens cannot tolerate each other anymore because one side of them is cunts. Guess which side that is? The lefties and the Muslims. Yeah, in case you didn't know. Yeah. Let's see what this is. Okay, so we have Wolf on X has posted a video, and it is London. A group of around 50 people attacked 15-year-old British girl, leaving her in critical condition. She collapsed near the scene and was rushed to the hospital with internal injuries and concussion. This is a savage attack. There's just a load of people just beating on a girl. Just, yeah, like up to like 50 people just beating on a girl. That's savage. But again, it's what the country becomes when law and order is gone, identity has gone, culture, history, all of that is gone. It's gone from Britain. You have lost now a few generations, and it's going to get worse and worse as time goes on. It doesn't get better without you putting systems in place to make it better. It doesn't work like that. It only gets progressively worse. Based and bougie, the left is everything they claim the right to be: intolerant, violent, aggressive, fascist and racist. Yes, so this is Based and Bougie. In case you don't know, she's a black girl, and she went across to the lefties Stop the Racism, whatever the fuck march it is, and they were racist towards her. And all it was is because she was wearing a Union Jack flag on her back. Yeah, she was wearing a Union Jack flag, tried interviewing a few of them, and they were racist. Again, the hypocrisy of the left is hilarious. There's a video, I'll tell you, there's a video. Let's see if we can hear anything. Let's see if we can hear any racism. I think this is the same video. At one point, somebody pulls her hair. I think I've already seen a video where she gets her hair pulled. Right, let's have a quick look.
Don't do that. So after Dumb and Dumber's failed attempt at ripping the Union Jack off of me, they instead decided to rip our microphone so none of the sound got caught. This is the guy responsible for breaking my microphone. He forgot his job description, which was to be a peaceful protester. He forgot that's what he was paid there to do, which was to be peaceful, but I guess the cross on the Union Jack triggered his demons to the point where, look, he's literally attacking my cameraman now. So here they are telling us to F off and go away, whilst literally following us around. They literally followed us for 5 minutes thinking they can intimidate me, but they don't know Based in Bougie. Here they are again trying to intimidate me and telling me that I cannot wear the British flag in Britain. I mean, the state of this country is absolutely unbelievable. Any other country, they literally would have been arrested. Then you have this waste man trying to intimidate me by putting the Palestinian flag all over my face on purpose. Like, what was that even supposed to do? But their attempt at silencing me, intimidating me, or putting some kind of fear into me severely failed, because I just don't care. Like, whoever has a problem with me waving the British flag in Britain, like, respectfully, kindly and politely suck your mum. Like, that's just where I'm at.
Suck your mum, that's fine.
Just not gonna stop. You're not gonna tell me I can't wave the British flag in Britain. You're not gonna do that. But this is just a pure example.
Yeah, but they are now, because, like I said, the lefties have sided with the Muslims, and that is one of many reasons that they've done it, because they know the Muslims can get away with anything, so they side with them. Based in Bougie, though, she's a good content creator. She's a very nice woman. I've met her once. Yeah, very nice girl. And she speaks a lot of truth also, you know. She's absolutely up there with the best of them when it comes to speaking out about the hypocrisy of the left, among other things that she goes into. Definitely worth a follow. So if you are on X or YouTube, do give Based in Bougie a follow. Tell her Dick Payne sent you as well, so she knows that I'm still loving her lots. Hashtag Grand Slam Marcher has posted, Alton Towers will no longer allow people with the conditions to skip the main queues. What conditions? Oh, Alton Towers stops people with ADHD and anxiety from using disability. What the fuck is this country? What the fuck is even that? How does ADHD or anxiety stop you from queuing? I mean, I've got severe bipolar depression. Can I use that as an excuse to just jump queues? Fucking amazing. Okay, we have a bit of a funny video here from Anti-Woke Memes on X. And he's put, describe this using one word, and there is a video of a girl with a hobby horse. And if you don't know, a hobby horse is a little horse's head teddy bear on a stick that you put between your legs, and then you kind of pretend to run around on a fake horse. And now this is getting a lot of attention. That apparently it's a sport. Apparently it's a sport to fuck's sake. At what point did sanity leave this planet? At what point? I wish I could have been there at that point and just caught it in the air, just caught sanity and just fucking kept it here for a little bit longer, you know. But no one caught it. It's fucking gone. So to that anti-woke memes, describe this using one word. My word is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is not a fucking sport. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's not even a hobby. I wouldn't even call that a hobby. It's not. Yeah. All right. So Rachel Reeves now plans to tax churches as she prepares for new VAT raid. That's funny, that, isn't it? She plans to tax churches. Yeah, get a few more of them shut down, eh, Rachel Reeves, so you can open a few more mosques, eh? And notice she's not put religious establishments or anything like that. No, just Christianity she's attacking there. Just churches. Brilliant. Well done, Rachel Reeves. You truly are fucking scum. You're a disgusting human being, and you deserve absolutely everything you get. You genuinely do. I don't see the future being bright for anyone in the Labour government or the Conservative government if a new government gets in and just reveals all. There will be no future for those people. Jack Jewell has posted, I don't know how common no-go zones are, but I personally know an English guy in Dewsbury who was told by a gang of Muslim guys to get out of this area, as it was, according to them, a Muslim area. Yeah, so if you go to, if you don't believe this is happening, if you're thinking to yourself, no, there's no such thing as a no-go zone in Britain, right, go to Aylesbury, go to Buckinghamshire, go to High Wycombe, you will see placards made and put on gates of certain parks, of certain different areas. They exist and they say this is a Muslim only area. If you're not Muslim, do not enter. Honestly, they've been there for years as well. They've been there, Christ, since I was, I don't know, 17, 18, and I'm 39 now. So honestly, they have been there years and years and years, and we absolutely have no-go areas in Britain for white people, definitely. Obviously, this is a comment regarding Keir Starmer's speech that he made. It wasn't an apology. He didn't apologise. It was an attack on reform. And nothing else really. The bloke is just an absolute wet wipe cunt. Nothing else to say about him besides don't plan a future in Britain, because I don't think you're going to be welcome here. So Michelle Drewbury has asked, why is it always girls and women negatively impacted in the drive for equality and inclusivity? Bugger off. I would disagree with that, actually, Michelle Drewbury, because men have been equally, if not more, affected by the drive for equality and inclusivity. What do I mean by this? Well, in the drive for equality, it's always men that have been attacked by that. It's always men that have had the burden of responsibility for anything that happens. It was always the men that get attacked for approaching a woman, for holding a door open, for giving a woman a lift home. You know, it's all those things. It's always men that get attacked for that. Toxic masculinity. So a man simply being a man and being masculine has been attacked throughout my life. So I would completely dismiss that, actually, Michelle Drewbury. I disagree with you 100% and say we are all affected equally. If not, I would say more men. Men are more so than women. Purely because it is women that attack us as well. Men don't really attack women generally. It's only a few that do so. But women will openly mock men, interrogate men, challenge men, slander men. It happens all the time. So I would disagree with you there, Michelle Drewbury, and say being a man is so much shitter than being a woman, I can assure you. Okay, so Dr. Malouf, spell Maalouf, on X, has said entitled Palestinians in the UK insult British police, making faces and mocking them. One Palestinian even says, I'm Palestinian, take your hands off me, you cannot touch me, you are all racist. So again, remember me saying that if you let people run riot and let them get away with whatever they want to do, they will get entitled. They will expect that at all times. This is exactly what that is. And these free Palestine freaks, they genuinely believe that they're above the law now. They genuinely believe that they have a higher tier of people than anyone else. They genuinely believe that. They believe that they have the moral high ground and that nothing can touch them because they walk around with a Palestinian flag saying free Palestine from the river to the sea and all that fucking crap. Because they're indoctrinated. That's all it falls down to. Indoctrination. Morons. But yeah, the video there just proving that basically that these Palestinians, that they do think they're above the law, the government, everything, and they absolutely have an agenda to replace us and install Sharia law. within the years to come. Best of luck to you if you don't want that, because the people that do want that, they're against you. Okay, Clown World. In Tiburon, California, residents can be fined $500 for not sorting their trash correctly. City crews later toss everything into one container and haul it straight into landfill. Yeah, do you know what? No, it's exactly the same in Britain. You get those bins that are divided, bottles, cardboard and whatever else, and then general waste. You get like 3 or 4 different segregated bins, but they're not segregated. If you look inside them or if you open them out, it all just goes into the same place. And even if it doesn't, even if they are segregated there, when when they come and pick them up and empty them, they just put them all into the same thing at the end of the day. So it's an absolute waste of time. It is an absolute waste of time. That, again, it's your government's failing you. It's your government saying, hey, we're doing this, we want more money because we're recycling, because we're getting you to separate everything so that we can do a great job of recycling, and then you do all of your work and your part and pay them extra and separate it all and everything else, and then you give it to them and they go, right, we're not going to do that. But we still won't pay him for it. This is exactly how it works. Right, we're coming up to 57 minutes. So I'm going to call it a day there. Thank you for joining me today. I genuinely hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as I have. It's just been an absolute shit show, as it usually is. But fun nonetheless. So thank you everyone for joining me, and if you watch this later on, then thank you for watching it later on as well. I genuinely appreciate you. Cheers, bye.